Chapter 3: How to Develop Mental Toughness. In sports psychology, mental toughness encompasses a wide variety of positive attributes that help a person handle difficult situations and persevere without losing confidence. Studies suggest that mental toughness can be developed by gradual exposure to demanding situations. This simple practice teaches you how to cope and keep going when you want to give up. Fatigue is in your mind. According to a study led by exercise physiologist and marathoner Emma Ross, fatigue is all in your head. Her study on experienced runners uncovered that it's not the muscles that can't keep going on for longer during strenuous exercise. It's the brain that reduces the electrical stimulation of the working muscles. Scientists speculate it's the brain's mechanism to prevent us from either damaging ourselves or exercising to death. You can delay this effect by slowly pushing your limits and expanding your safe zone. It's like taking your brain a little closer and closer to the edge of the cliff, and once it can look down, you take it to a higher cliff and repeat the process. If you are working on a fitness related goal and you are close to giving up, reminding yourself it's not your muscles that give out, but your brain can help you perform one more rep. Continuous small improvements will lead to long term progress, which in turn will ensure you won't give up on your goals too soon. I can attribute crushing at least several of my personal records thanks to this knowledge. 5 exercises to become tougher. Research conducted by Richard A. Densteiber suggests that there are two ways to toughen up: passive toughening and active toughening. Passive means intermittent exposure to stress, and active means such as exercise. First is cold exposure. One of the prime ways to toughen up is to expose yourself to cold. Studies show that exposure to cold leads to rapid and intense spikes in adrenaline. Taking cold showers or ice baths on a regular basis will lead to better coping with this stressful activity, which in turn will help you better deal with other challenging events. Swimming in cold water is even more effective, though many people couldn't think of a worse torture. If thinking a cold shower is too much of a challenge to you, you can also alternate between hot and cold water. 15 to 30 seconds of cold water and 15 to 30 seconds of hot water is a much more manageable way to benefit from cold exposure for people who don't cope with the cold well. Physical activity. Exercise is another scientifically proven way to become tougher. Whether it's running, weightlifting, swimming, or any other kind of physical activity, it helps you toughen up. To get even more benefits from physical activity, consider pushing your limits from time to time. Run a longer distance than usual, lift more weight, perform difficult exercises. Weightlifting is particularly healthy and beneficial since it both toughens you up and increases your strength. You can't help but feel more equipped to deal with problems in life when you shatter your personal records. Fasting. Intermittent fasting is one of the most beneficial simple habits to both improve your health and toughen you up. Benefits of fasting are well documented, even though there are a lot of misconceptions about it. There are various ways of fasting. Some people fast for 16 hours by skipping breakfast. Others stop eating at 6 pm one day and resume eating the next day at 6 pm. People more experienced with fasting take longer breaks from eating, sometimes for up to a few days. Start small by skipping 1 or 2 meals. Fasting may feel uncomfortable at first, but with increased practice, you will notice you no longer feel hunger like you did before. Intermittent fasting is an inherent part of my lifestyle. Every single day, I fast for at least 16 to 20 hours, and sometimes longer. It has changed my relationship with food and helped me increase my self control. Note, I'm not a doctor and I don't play one in the books. Speak with your physician before you want to try cold exposure, strenuous exercise, or fasting. Now, meditation. Studies show that meditation leads to improved self control. Even 5 minutes spent sitting in silence trying to focus on your breath is enough to enjoy many health benefits of this practice. Sitting still sounds like the easiest suggestion in this subchapter, yet, most people find it extremely difficult once they try it. It's difficult to spend time in silence trying to focus on the present moment and nothing else. I strongly suggest meditating in the morning. You can tie it with an existing habit of brushing your teeth. Meditate right after putting your toothbrush back in its place. Do things that make you uncomfortable. Intermittent exposure to stressful situations is yet another way to improve your mental toughness. There are endless ways to deliberately make yourself uncomfortable. Here are a few things to consider: talking with random strangers, doing exercises you hate, public speaking, extreme sports, and facing your other fears. Now, how to develop mental toughness? A quick recap. First, fatigue is in your mind. Push yourself past your limits to train your brain not to panic under too much stress. Gradual exposure to demanding situations will help you achieve this goal. Second, exposure to cold is one of the best ways to build mental toughness. Try cold showers or alternate hot and cold water. Third, physical activity and especially weightlifting makes you a tougher and a stronger person. If you want to toughen up, strenuous exercise produces the best results. Fourth, fasting is another viable way to improve your mental toughness. Skip a meal or fast for a full day and learn how to control your urges. Fifth, meditation improves self control and makes you tougher by teaching you how to sit still. Even 5 minutes a day is enough to benefit from it. And the last one, stepping outside your comfort zone by doing things you find uncomfortable is another way to build your mental toughness. Face your fears and do awkward things to get tougher.